In theory.
In theory, in a world, a one-man fighting machine.
Is this episode 106?
106.
Jesus.
Remember when we thought 10 was a lot? Good. Did I ever tell the story about the guy who thought Bob Ross was Jimi Hendrix?
What?
You play with your balls a lot.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We're doing the intro one time this week, and that's it. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hey, this is Irritable Dad Syndrome. How do we do this? What do
you say? Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Darren.
Yeah, but don't we say
Welcome
this?
to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode
Okay.
106.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Darren.
This is episode 1. Sounds like episode 1. God. Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Darren.
With this,
Oh, for f***ing sake.
I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm not.
I believe you.
Okay. Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Darren.
This is God bless America. Hey, I'm Mike. Okay. You really enjoyed that, don't you? Oh my. Hey, I'm Mike.
And I'm Darren.
This is Irritable Dad Syndrome, episode 106.
You know what happened in 2006?
What?
I don't have any idea.
I don't know.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We're very excited that you're here.
We are.
Yeah, this is going to be a great show. We're going down the rundown. We've got hot things to talk about. One, I saw something at a Weird Al concert last week that I have never seen in all the probably 100 concerts that I've seen in my life.
Yeah, and I have a new business idea that I would love to try out. I would like to be a concert life coach.
Oh, okay. I did something on the internet that has gone viral. I'll explain that.
Okay, and we have plans for the mammal core band Venomous Beaver.
Mammal Core?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a type of heavy metal.
Very exciting.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Before we get going, I want to mention something real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but last week was a train wreck. It was a disaster. It everything that could have went wrong
Yeah.
with that show. The recording stopped. We lost access to Twitch. We lost our stream. We lost our live guest. And
We damn near lost our lives.
it was for everybody who listened to episode 105, the edit of Frankenstein. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming back.
So usually for Darren to get that verklempt,
Yeah.
it has to be,
Yeah.
we have to be a good 15, 20 minutes into the show with me just in one of my moods where
Right.
I'm pushing his buttons. But Darren was verklempt within the first 2 minutes of the show. And normally we can pull those back from the edge of death. But
Right.
this one just spiraled into a brick wall. We pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
We start going again.
We hit the wall again.
Boom.
Well, you know what? Normally, I just can roll with it.
Yeah.
But I got thrown off. I was off my game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, we'll just, let's just start the show again.
Yeah.
I had no idea we were going to start the show
Yeah.
3 more times. And
yeah.
to add to it, the week before was the week we were supposed to record an entire episode, and we
Yeah.
had to shut that down. So we had half a show. Kinda. No, we had like a quarter of a show.
Yeah, well,
And
we had
then-
some things happen that I wanted to get out because
right.
you got to get in the moment. You got to get them.
So we recorded all that, and then we're like, you know what? What we'll do is we'll just edit it in next week. No one will ever know the difference. We forgot we had a guest.
Yeah.
So part of our show is going to be just me and Mike. Ha ha, I think you're funny. I think you're funny too. And then we're going to throw in a guest.
Yeah.
And then, so why aren't we talking to the guest during this part? And it was just
Yeah.
it was a
I
disaster.
mean, there was one very, very disturbing part of that is that I had to repeat myself once.
Yeah.
And it sounded a lot better the second time,
Right.
which caused a little itch in the back of my brain that said, if you guys rehearsed, this would be a better show.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? We'd be insane if we rehearsed.
And then another part of my brain said, this is a podcast.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't, the jankiness is part of it.
Janky. So
welcome to the show.
yeah, welcome.
You went to go see Weird Albert.
I saw Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
And Al is not Albert, it's Alfred.
Alfred
Alfred
okay.
Yankovic.
Like Batman's butler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I know I talked about it a little bit last week. Something that I didn't mention was I took my youngest son, Cameron, with me, and we go all the way up to the Schuster Center in Dayton. And I don't know if you've ever been to the Schuster Center. It's beautiful. It looks like the Aronoff Center here in Cincinnati, okay?
Yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful. We pass the Schuster Center and take a right and get into a parking garage where we found a spot easily. Actually, a little too easy. And I was almost at the point where it's like, can I really park here? This doesn't seem like... It's only $3 to park.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
We're walking from the parking garage to the Schuster Center, and there's a woman walking by herself, and she keeps turning her head, looking at an invisible person behind her, and cussing him out. You, go yourself. And she is just, and then she looks at us like, how dare he? How dare he? And Cameron gives me this look like, Dad, I'm scared. And I said, buddy, stay behind me. Okay, stay with me all the time. I had no idea what this woman was, and all she was doing was walking and looking at somebody who wasn't next to her and cursing just loudly.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun. So we're walking to the Schuster Center.
Yep.
Okay. We let the lady who's cursing, we let her get way, way, way ahead of us. And we get in and we find our seats. Now we're way at the top. We're in the nosebleeds.
Okay.
We're 3 rows away from being at the very top.
Okay.
All right. It's like, I love Weird Al. The tickets were really pricey for this.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And so I opted for some less expensive seats.
Yeah.
And I mentioned last week, this particular tour, Al did not do the parodies. He didn't come out in the fat suit. He didn't do Smells Like Nirvana. He didn't dress like, Michael Jackson. He didn't do any of that. He did all these obscure original songs that he did on his past 14 or so albums. And it was a great show. We're sitting there and we're getting ready for the show to start. And I look over and I'll be damned if there's not a person, probably 6 foot tall, in full wolf.
There was a furry.
It's what everyone around us was saying.
Yeah.
But why would a furry be at a Weird Al concert?
Why wouldn't a furry be at a Weird Al concert?
That's not really where you go to hook up with anybody at any time. Like earlier before the show started, I said I saw something I'd never seen at a Weird Al show, and my friend Steve Farrell said, "What, a hot chick?"
That's like a Rush show.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was telling Fancher just this weekend when I went to go see Rush R40 in Columbus, I went by myself, and the seat next to me was some lady, I think she might have been 30-something or whatever, was the only female that I remember seeing in that arena.
Right.
Yeah. And she made a comment. She's like, I think I'm the only girl here. And I said, you're a girl? No, I didn't. I said, really? Yeah, you probably are. I mean, these guys are famous for that.
Yeah.
Anywho.
But I'm going to post a picture.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, I sent a picture to my wife. I said, look what we saw. She's like, what the hell is that?
It's a
guy, girl, I don't know, full wolf outfit.
What you had in that picture was what is commonly referred to as evidence.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah.
Wow.
But So, but it was a great concert. We had fun, and Cameron got to see a wolf.
So I came up with a business idea.
Okay.
I shouldn't call it a business idea. I want to help people.
Oh, okay.
I think I could be a good concert life coach
for
people. And this came about because of our mutual friend, Fancher.
Right.
He chose not to go see Rush with me back in R40. Okay. There were some rumblings about that this may be their last tour.
Right.
And then, lo and behold, it ended up being their last tour.
Neil Peart passed away.
And so he has beaten himself up for that. I think that was in 2015. Every year, every time I see him, he's like, I can't believe I didn't go see the Rush show.
Yeah, should have went.
Can't believe I didn't go see it. Roger Waters tickets came up. This is back in 2020.
Right.
I sent it out to the group.
Yep.
Fanchers, I don't think I'm going to go, or I don't want to go, whatever. It gets to be within a week of the show. Man, should I go see it? Because it was up near where he was. I was like, I mean, you could still go probably the day of and pay out the yin yang for a ticket, but I think it's worth going. I think the Roger Waters show was an excellent show, especially if you enjoy Pink Floyd and the Roger Waters side
of the Pinky Floyds.
Yeah, Pink and his band.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he elected not to go. And then when I talked to him this weekend, he was just like, I can't believe I didn't go to the Roger Waters. It's like, you need a life coach.
Yeah.
You need someone to force you to go to concerts that they know you're going to regret missing.
Yeah.
It's like, I will be that for, I will buy a ticket for a concert that I know you should go to.
Yeah.
And I will come to your house and get you and drag you to that show.
Yeah.
And you'll fight me. You'll have some reason. You've got to do your taxes. You just made Kool-Aid, whatever it is.
It's sitting around it's going to get warm.
I'm taking you to the show.
Yeah.
But I was telling Bess about this, and she said, that's probably a good idea. He probably would have really appreciated you bringing him to Roger Waters, regardless of where he was. And then I started thinking, man, it would be nice to have somebody with you at it. Like, what if I said, this is the reason, or part of the reason why I've gone to many concerts myself. Rush, I can never find anybody to go see Rush. Technically, you and I saw Rush together at Riverbend.
Yeah.
We just weren't together, but we were in the same show.
We're at the same show.
When you like bands like Rush and Primus, going to see Megadeth, it's not always easy to find someone to go with. And Fancher has a problem in that nobody in his town wants to leave the confines of the town.
Right.
And he lives 90 minutes away from Pittsburgh, which has tons of shows. Every concert t-shirt. Listeners, pause the show, go look at a concert t-shirt.
Grab any shirt from
any shirt, and Pittsburgh's going to be on there. Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, here's the deal. I thought I could offer my services. I will go with you to whatever show you want to go to.
Yeah.
And I will be how you want me to be. If you want me to just sit there and not talk to you, I'll do that. If you want me to lose my
I will be however you want me to be.
I'll have a pricing structure. You want me to lose my and headbang? You want me to get hammered and get thrown out? Well, you pick a package, however you want me to be, that's how I'll be at the show. If you want me to speak to you in an English accent the entire time, if you want me to yell explanations for what each song means really loudly to other people around us while we're doing it, I will do that. I will, or
she wrote that about when she dated Dave Coulier. She used to date him, and that's why she wrote that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Beth said, well, what if they want you to go to a Britney Spears concert and headbang? I was like, if they pay me enough, I'll go headbang the Britney Spears.
I would go see
I don't
Britney
care.
Spears, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then I thought I could offer more services. What do we always end up doing? You've been to a number of concerts with me. What's one thing that I always do? I always get in the damn merch line, and then we're sitting there, standing there, for like 45 minutes so I can spend $50 on a t-shirt.
Yes.
That I will wear. I do wear my t-shirts.
I know you do, yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice if you had someone with you just stand in line for you?
Yeah.
To text you a picture of the merch while you're at your seat enjoying your beverage. And you tell me what you want, and I'll buy it and bring it back, and you have it. I'll hold it for you throughout the show.
Wow.
Keep it from getting wrinkled. I'll bring you a beer. I'll be your beer bitch. If that's what you want me to be. Take me to go see. Well, you can't do Slayer,
but you would miss part of the show. Though.
I'm there.
You don't care about
being
that.
paid to be there. I don't care about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm not going to do it for concerts that I want to see. I'm not going to go be somebody's concert
beer
life coach
at U2,
at U2.
Yeah.
I will pay someone to be my concert beer bitch at U2.
Now, see, I could have used you back in the 90s.
Yeah, I think this is a valuable service, right?
When I lived in Johnson City, Johnny Cash was coming to Knoxville. I asked one buddy of mine, he couldn't go, didn't have enough money. I asked another buddy to go, he couldn't go. Something came up at the house and his wife, and they couldn't work out their schedule. And I didn't want to go to Knoxville by myself. So if I called you, you would have like ridden in the car with me. You would have shared the drive.
There would have been a questionnaire.
Yeah.
How excited do you want me to be? Do you want me to? For a price, I'll listen to their entire catalog before we go. So I'm singing along and throwing fists.
And the thing is,
do you want me to start a fight with somebody that's not wearing the right T-shirt while we're there?
Yeah, I didn't go. And then Johnny Cash died.
Yeah.
And I never saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have used you all those years ago.
Yeah.
So are you going to offer up this service? Or is this
I'm seriously
it's just
thinking
something
about,
that you're thinking about doing?
the idea came to me, but the more I think about it, the more I think it would be a valuable service.
Well, because the last time Billy Idol came around, I asked you and you said no. Then I asked my buddy Eric, and he said no, he couldn't go. He's working. My buddy Tad couldn't go, and then he couldn't go. Another friend couldn't go. My buddy Greg couldn't go. And then I was like, I'm asking people who I haven't seen in 15 years.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember me. I was at your wedding.
Yeah.
Do you want to go see Billy Idol? No, I didn't. So I called you again. I said, look, I can't get anybody to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all I
how it
said.
goes,
like you're doing this. And you said, okay. And you had a good time. Yeah.
I could offer up a service where I buy the tickets. I mean, you pay me, obviously, for a premium.
Right.
I ain't doing this for free.
I know, because I hate doing the Ticketmaster thing and all that crap.
Just call up, Mike's Concert Life Coach Emporium. Can I help you? Yes, I'd like to go see Machine Gun Kelly in Botswanavich, West Virginia on October 3rd.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Now, you would go to West Virginia if the price is right.
What package would you like? We have I just drive you to the show and do a rolling, kick you out the side of the car, and then drive home.
Right.
All the way up to the ultimate package, which is I get the tickets. You tell me what your range of price is.
Right.
I will deliver drinks to you, deliver food to you while at the show. I'll buy the merch for you. You pick one of my many characters that I have. Do you want me to bang head?
Right.
Do you want me to talk everyone around you's ear off? Do you want me to start a fight with somebody over the T-shirt that I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Like I did with the U2 Octum Baby guy.
Yeah,
Do you want me to throw down and start a fight for you?
That was fiction.
Yeah. Do you want me to get thrown out of the show and have someone there to film it? Have both the Irritable Dads. You film me getting thrown out of the show.
That could be called the conversation starter package.
Yeah. Yeah.
When everybody goes, hey, can you believe that bald guy idiot? Yeah.
Do you want the VIP backstage pass? Of course, they would have to pay for all of it.
Right.
Where I get really excited and go up to the band and start asking them about songs that they totally didn't write, and albums that aren't theirs. If I go up and talk to Britney Spears about Dark Side of the Moon, was it hard because Nick Mason, because he was so jacked up on drugs? Was it weird?
Come on. No, but I swear to God, if you walked up to John Bon Jovi and then started singing like Thunderstruck, that would be badass. You bet. Woo! Yeah.
I think people would pay for that. People pay for like Pee Wee Herman to say, "Hi, it's your birthday." They'd pay for me to be their beer bitch.
I'm gonna.
You think it's a good idea?
This is a good idea.
Maybe we shouldn't broadcast
this. This is a very good idea.
It's a service.
Mike's Concert Ticket Emporium.
Yeah. I think a lot of people could use me.
I think so, too.
I think the guy walking around Gojira that wanted everyone to kill him could have used me.
Yes. Will you kill me?
Yeah. No, that's on the I'll kill you package.
So how much is it going to cost for you? Hear me out.
Okay.
Because there's got to be someone who, one of the worst things about going to concerts is waiting in line at the bathroom. Are you going to wait in line and like get a urinal for whoever?
Oh,
this one's clear?
Yeah.
But urinal number 3 is empty, Steve.
Yeah.
And then you
I have to work out the logistics on that because you got to be careful. There's a code. I'm not going to break any codes.
Okay.
There's a code in the bathroom. Now I don't know about how the women folk do it because I've never been in a women's restroom at a concert that I remember.
But almost every concert I've been to, a woman has been in the guy's room.
But But as you get closer to the urinals in the guys, it becomes more and more serious.
Yeah.
Outside, it's free for all, whatever. Hey, I'm in front of you. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I got a pretzel in my hand. As you get closer, you get within one or two people of the urinal, you cut in. It's like walking into the Hell's Angels and kicking over a bike. You don't do it.
No, you don't.
No. So, I'm not gonna violate any bro codes out there.
Work out a price structure, and I think
I'll totally go see whoever, like whatever.
And hear me out. So
Blink 182, and I'll bring a whatever.
All of the proceeds for this will go to
me,
Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Okay. Yeah. Which is me. And you.
Yeah, me.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Just Heels. How many times have you opened a loaf of bread only to discover that your 2 favorite pieces, the top and bottom, have already been eaten? I'm Dave Lay, and crap, like this happens to me all the time. That's why I buy this revolutionary product, Just Heels. Just Heels is exactly that, a bag full of heels. Only top and bottom pieces of bread, and it's quite delicious. So stop the bickering and badness at your home and buy Just Heels so everyone can enjoy that top and bottom bread goodness. Heels. Now, back to the show.
Last week, after we reported the train wreck, the podcast,
Yeah.
the disaster, the show.
I thought it was a pretty good show.
It did,
After you stitched it together.
it did turn out fine.
I mean, Frankenstein was a walking, moving
Yeah, functional
vocal
part,
thing.
He was a functional part of society
after he was stitched together.
for a while. Yeah.
Before that, he was just a bunch of body parts laying
Right.
around, stinking up the place, which is what we had when we ended recording. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I got in the car,
Yeah.
and the first thing I thought was, "Oh, Jesus Christ! How
I got to quit the show.
What am I
Yeah.
going to do?" I get in the car, and then the phone buzzes. I look, and it's my wife, and she sends me a text.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned before how much I love my wife. Well,
Yeah.
my wife loves me too.
Oh.
But the text she sent me said, and I quote, "Either come home with a Mounds bar or don't bother walking through the door." Exclamation point. Nope, please. No,
I'd like
hey,
to thank
hey,
Libby
honey.
I'd like to thank her for this week's title.
Either walk home, either come home with a Mounds bar.
Oh.
Good times. And so
I'm thinking of Top Gun.
Yeah.
Take me to bed or lose me forever. The goose.
That's right. Last weekend, we took my son to the University of Cincinnati. They had an open house.
Okay.
He's going to be applying for colleges here soon. And if anybody wants to step up and offer him a scholarship, go to irritabledadsyndrome.com.
Yeah.
And we'll work something out.
Yeah.
So we're at the University of Cincinnati, and we're in their...
Would you like me to be his beer bitch?
Yeah,
First-
yeah,
okay. All right,
absolutely.
okay.
Sure,
All right.
sure.
Yeah.
We'll work something out.
Okay.
They have all the people who were there initially sitting in the stadium where they play baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. And we get there and we're waiting. They had iced coffee and water, and it was a beautiful day.
Standard fare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Finally, it's time to start. And what do? They bring out the equivalent of a warm-up act. It's this chick.
Okay.
She comes out and she's like, and this is
Okay.
one of the things that bugs me. This is like a just stop.
Okay.
I hate when people say, "How's everybody doing?"
Ah.
No. How's everybody doing? And then I was like, "What, are you deaf?"
Yeah.
We literally just said we're good. Okay, we're not here to see Slipknot. Okay, this isn't a concert.
Yeah.
You know, Bon Jovi's not coming out.
Right.
Geechee Guy's not coming out.
Geechee
We're here for open house.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here to go to the Linder College of Medicine and to the Applied Technology and Engineering and Sciences. That's not a "how's everybody doing?" Woo!
Yeah.
And then she starts warming everybody up by this side of the crowd says "you," and then this side of the crowd says "see." And then this side of the crowd says "bear," and then
my
this side of the crowd
God.
says "cats." And she's like, you, see, bear.
Oh my
It's
God.
just, I'm like, you're killing me. Okay. So they don't need to do that. Everybody at the University of Cincinnati was ridiculously nice. Okay. Very, very, very cool. Beautiful campus.
Yeah.
We had a good time, but we were too tired to go through the warm-up act.
Yeah.
It wasn't working. And this is gross.
Yeah.
The guy sitting in front of me, I think it was his wife sitting next to him. He's clipping her fingernails, and fingernails are just
With a clipper. With a fingernail clipper.
Yeah, with a fingernail clipper.
So he brought their home fingernail clipper.
He brought the fingernail clippers, or she did. I didn't ask.
Or someone else near them and said, "Trim that bitch's fingernails."
Well, there was nobody. There was nobody else around them besides us, and I'm not loaning him my fingernail clippers.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just called this woman a bitch, and
Yeah.
I don't even know who she is. She could be a wonderful person.
Probably
Damn,
is.
I need to process that.
But I'm like, gross.
Yeah.
Why are you cutting your fingernails in the middle of God and everybody in the University of Cincinnati? And come on.
Yeah. That's
Gross.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is proud to be associated with Newsly, the all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. For the first time ever, the entire internet becomes listenable, all in one place. Check it out. Newsly actually picks up articles about the most trending topics on the web and reads them to you in a natural human voice much like my own. I'm Dave Lay, and I'm in fact an actual human. And guess what? Our podcast, Irritable Dad Syndrome, is available there too. Listen to us every week on Newsly and afterwards. If you feel like grooving to another podcast, then knock yourself out. You can find trending podcasts from over 80 countries and digital radio as well. So stop scrolling and start listening. Download Newsly now. Just go to www.newsly.me and use this promo code. The number 1, RR, another number 1, then the letters TABLEDAD, and receive a free 1-month premium subscription.
You mentioned Just Stop, and I have a Just Stop.
Okay.
I want to do. It's a saying, and I don't want to hear it anymore.
Okay.
I don't ever want to hear this.
I have
again.
a saying too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right.
Nobody knows what that means.
Right.
Okay.
That's an old
except for
saying.
me, because I just looked it up because
Right.
I had a theory and I was wrong, but
I know what it means.
I'm going to continue. So basically what it means is people used to give each other horses.
Yeah.
I guess there were so many damn horses
Hey, Larry,
around.
I thought I'd give you this horse.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Chuck.
And it was considered rude.
Chuck and Larry
Yeah.
are the two in this scenario.
It was considered rude in this culture to inspect the teeth of a horse
Yes.
that was given. So if you wake up, let's say you wake up at Christmas.
Yeah, and there's a
and
horse
you're-
head in your bed.
And Santa has
wait.
brought you, no, I'm sorry.
Oh.
And Santa has brought you a horse
Okay.
under your tree.
Thanks, Santa.
It's a big tree.
It's a big
Back
tree.
in the days, they
Horse
had everything
all
was-
over the floor.
Everything was bigger back then.
That's true. They have really scaled things
it would
down.
be considered rude
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
you to say, "Oh, look, a horse. Let's inspect its teeth." You don't
yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Don't do. So that's where the "don't look a gift horse in the mouth." But what I was here's why that saying is stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a history buff you are, but there was a Trojan, a horse that was referred to as a Trojan horse because
Yes.
it was a horse from Troy. It was
Yes.
it was a wooden. The
Yes.
Trojan army built a horse out of wood.
Right.
Darren, a
Yeah.
very large.
I'm
horse.
following you.
I
I've,
thought
I've seen Monty Python.
everything back in the day was bigger.
And made of wood.
So they were in a war with another.
The Greeks.
Okay,
The Greeks and the
I was gonna
it was
say-
the Greek-Trojan
yeah,
War.
I was going to say another place, but
Okay.
Greeks expounds on that.
Go ahead and check me out on this. I don't care.
They took their army and they put it up in that horse.
Inside
horse.
the horse's ass.
And the idea was, here's a gift horse. Here's a present, because I guess for centuries people have been giving each other horses.
Right.
They rode this bitch up to the
They're like, wow.
to the city
How
gates, and the
cool.
Greeks are like, I guess no one's ever had a horse this big.
No.
This is the biggest horse of all time.
Right,
and
and
it's wood. Which
Which
is
is-
still, like a totally useless horse.
But hear me out.
Okay.
It won't run away.
It
You don't have
no.
to train it.
So as the story goes, as the legend goes,
Okay.
they rolled this horse in.
In folklore.
This is for people that skipped a lot of school,
Yeah.
which is most of our audience.
Yeah.
And when night fell, the army came out.
They out of
And
its,
apparently
out of its ass.
the big problem between this military conflict was just getting past that wall.
Right.
So now that they're inside the wall, they come out and they just slaughter everybody and they win the war.
Right.
And the top prize or whatever.
Right. And so, which was a big you to the Greeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Had the Greeks looked the gift horse in the mouth,
They would have said, "Hey, this thing is full of army men."
of Trojan people.
Yeah.
So,
Get out of my castle, you damn Trojans.
so before that happened,
yeah.
don't look a gift horse in the mouth might have been a good saying. You don't want to piss off your grandma for giving you a horse with dentures.
Right.
But
Right.
after the Trojan horse incident, I think we put "don't look a gift horse in the mouth" away.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
You don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
Who uses it? People said it a lot. I don't know about where you're from, but
Right.
where I'm from, people said it a lot when I was a kid.
Right.
And I really never knew what it was because A, nobody ever gave me a horse. And B, if someone did give me a horse, probably way down on the list of things I would do would be look in that horse's mouth.
Right. I would say, "Hey, can I get on it and ride it around?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Another expression
Uh-huh.
is who let the cat out of the bag? And my question is, who put a cat in a bag to begin with? because someone's like pissed that somebody let the cat out of the bag. I'm pissed that somebody put the cat in the bag to begin with.
Hey, this is your announcer, Dave Lay. Mike and Darren are always talking, but I rarely get to make any comments on their conversation. So I wanted to talk about something I heard in episode 101, a Donkey Kong barrel of cocaine. You see, I also enjoy the movie The Princess Bride very much. That Billy Crystal, man, he's funny. Thanks. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, so for weeks, nothing has happened to me at Kroger. And all of a sudden, over the past 2 weeks, I've had 3 incredible things. Not incredible, but worthy of the podcast. So it's time for the Kroger Story of the Week.
It's time now for the Kroger Story of the Week.
I'm walking through Kroger.
Yeah.
And I'm coming down. I passed the Crowbar,
Okay.
which by the way,
I'm mentally going where you're talking about.
in October,
we're
we're going to have a Crowbar event.
Yes.
And I'll get to that at another
And you're
time.
all invited.
It's a little teaser there. So I'm going down the bread aisle, and I see a guy with no teeth. I mean, no teeth
How did
whatsoever.
you know he had no teeth?
Because his
he had
bottom
that Popeye-looking thing?
His bottom jaw was literally like
over
half
his
an
nose.
inch
Okay.
under his nose.
Okay.
And I was spellbound by it. I was
Yeah.
entranced. I was mesmerized. And I'm walking with my cart, and I almost collided right smack dab in the middle of somebody. I came like an inch away from hitting him. Sorry. So there was that. And then I'm going down another aisle, and this woman sees me, and she smiles at me like, hi, hey, like she hasn't seen me in years, and she was so excited. I had no idea who she was. I'm like, and then I did one of those and kept going. I thought, boy, was I, because I have no idea. If I did know her, I have no idea how I know her, and my apologies if you listen to. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Kate Halpin. She's the only person from Kroger who I run into.
Yeah,
at Kroger.
There's crazy people everywhere.
That's true.
You shouldn't.
That is true.
If somebody smiles at you, you should give them a scornful look.
But I was looking for Funyuns. They were sold out of Funyuns. How do you sell out of Funyuns?
3 entire bags of Funyuns.
Funyuns are awesome.
So here's the fun part. I'm going through the deli.
Yeah.
Okay. The last time Libby and I had dinner at my mom's house, she had bought this wicked potato salad. This wicked macaroni salad, right?
Okay.
And she said she got it at Kroger in the deli department.
Yeah.
And I'm walking around, I'm trying to find this macaroni salad, this special brand, and I'm looking all over it. I can't find it. This woman, she looks at me and she holds up this potato salad and she goes, look at this. Does this look bad to you?
Oh boy.
She holds it literally 6 inches from my face. Look at this.
Yeah.
Does this look bad to you?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't really know. I mean, I'd have to open it and smell it.
You're looking for the college student with the phone, like filming you somewhere.
And she's like, I think it looks nasty. And I said, okay. And she said, yeah, I'm afraid of potato salad.
Oh.
Put it down, walked away. That's when I texted you, just bumped into a woman who's afraid of potato salad. And your response was, okay. And then, so I'm checking out and I'm wearing my Bob Ross t-shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
I love my Bob Ross t-shirt. And this guy's staring at me. He's looking at the Bob Ross shirt, looks at me, looks at the shirt, looks at me, looks at the Bob Ross shirt a little bit, looks at me. And I'm thinking, I don't think I know him.
Yeah.
I really don't think I know him. And he finally walks over to me and says, I know who's on your shirt. That's Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, it's Jimi Hendrix.
I had.
How really? they don't have one single thing in common at all.
I don't remember. This happened a long time ago, but you reminded me of something that's happened to me. I don't remember where I was, but I have a Big Lebowski shirt.
Yeah.
It just says dude.
The dude abides.
Well, no. It's the dude and then abide at the bottom. And
Right.
It's like a black and white of Jeffrey Lebowski.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somebody was staring at me hard, like at my chest. And I was in line somewhere. And then they finally said, I don't know why you would have a t-shirt of that man on you. And I look down because sometimes I forget what I'm wearing. I was like, oh my God, did I wear my Hitler shirt today?
Yeah. Oh, I hate when, especially in the church.
I look down and I'm like, that's what? And she's like, do you know how many, how many people they killed? The dude?
Jeff Bridges?
Yeah. And so I pointed at my shirt. It's like, the dude?
The dude?
And I guess she didn't realize who the dude is and thought I was just saying this dude or the dude, the dude.
Right.
She's like, why would you wear a shirt with Charles Manson? Oh my God. And the guy, because I remember this like it was yesterday, the guy behind her, he was further up in line, turned around at that, looked at my shirt and went, and I quote, and just laughed himself silly. And he said to her, he's like, that's the Lebowski. That's the big Lebowski.
That's the dude.
And she pursed her lips. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, I know what that means.
She's like, well, I don't know what that is. And I said, it's one of the funniest movies ever made. She's like, and she said, and I quote, well, I don't see the humor in it. And turned around. I'm like, what? She was clinging on to being offended no matter what information came from that, you know?
You know, that leads me to something else that we're going to talk about here in a couple minutes. But before I left Kroger, I noticed that they sell a product called Nitro Pepsi. And I have no idea.
That's like the cross between Monster and Pepsi, isn't it? It's like they have this like super caffeine,
but it's
jet fuel or something.
On the can, it says it's smooth, creamy, easy to drink.
Okay.
Which is because so many other sodas out there are really hard to drink, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Mike's Hard Lemonade, it's right there on the thing.
And there's directions.
What?
On the can. Okay, step 1, chill the can.
Oh.
Okay, done. Duh, of course.
Okay.
Who's going to drink a hot can of anything?
If you're lucky, the place you're buying it from will have already chilled it.
Right. Step 2, pour hard.
How do you pour hard?
How do you pour it hard? Do you pour it quick? Do you just like aggressively get out of the can?
Yeah.
You know.
Some non-Newtonian fluids, the harder you hit them, they act as a solid. Yeah. Darren.
Non-Newtonian?
Yes. A non-Newtonian...
what's that, Mr. White?
A non-Newtonian fluid is a fluid where if you move through it slowly, it acts as a liquid. But if you move quickly or hit it with force, it acts as a solid.
Oh.
There's videos on the interwebs of people, they will have a pool of non-Newtonian fluid and they will jump on it and like bounce across it. And then you'll see them at the other end and they'll just reach their hand down in it really slow and come back up.
Do you think Nitro
I didn't
Pepsi,
know we were going to get into science talk. I think if you drank a non-Newtonian fluid, you would die.
Okay, so do you think I'm going to die drinking Nitro Pepsi?
Possibly, but not because it's a non-Newtonian fluid.
The third step?
Yes.
Admire and enjoy. What the hell? Nitro Pepsi.
Pour hard. Chill.
Chill the can.
Chill the can.
Chill the can.
Pour hard.
Pour it hard. Pour it aggressively. Pour it like a... Okay, pour it.
And admire and enjoy, or enjoy and admire.
And enjoy. So
at the
really,
same time.
That's really 4 steps. You admire...
Well, you would have to enjoy it and then admire it. I don't think you can admire it and then enjoy it.
I think you could say, look at that beautiful soda that I poured in the can.
And then you drink it and you say, my God, that's an amazing soda. And then you admire it at a different level.
Yeah, you admire when the non-Newtonian flies at you. So, so it was fun going to Kroger.
So what you've just done is that's going to be something that we're going to have to do. We're going to have to drink Nitro Pepsi at some point.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Dave Lay Heating and Cooling. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I've been the announcer for Irritable Dad Syndrome for a couple of years now. And let's face it, the podcast money ain't rolling in like we had hoped. So I opened up my own heating and cooling company to make ends meet. Now you might ask, Dave, what do you know about heating and cooling? Well, here's the thing. I know when a room is too hot and when a room is too cold. And somebody has to do something about it. Schedule an appointment today and I'll give you a free estimate, plus a new filter. Limited time only. Offer may vary. See website for details. Dave Lay Heating and Cooling, for people who want their home to feel just right. Now, back to the show.
But that reminded me.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about this. You mentioned that the woman didn't know the dude on your shirt. Okay,
Right.
he meant absolutely nothing to her.
And I can't imagine a world where you don't know who the dude is.
I get that.
Yeah.
So remember a few months ago we had Adam Needham on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam got into my head because I had put something on the rundown to talk about. And then like a week ago, he mentioned this on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because there are famous people who continue to be famous despite the fact that you don't know who they are. Okay. Just because you don't know who a person is does not mean that they're not famous.
Right.
Right. And I can't remember the person who he was speaking about, but Libby and the boys and I went up to Dayton to a Lego convention.
Okay.
Now, we had been to Lego conventions before.
Yeah.
And usually they're, you got the giant statues of things made out of Legos, like the giant Mater from Cars and the giant Hulk and dude from Harry Potter and all those. And
Jeffrey Lebowski.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you admire all the things that are made out of Legos. And then you can go and build things. And we didn't realize that this wasn't one of those things. This was almost like a Comic-Con.
Oh.
Okay. There were famous Lego builders there. Okay. Like there's a guy there named Paul Hetherington, and his name is written huge up on the wall.
Yeah.
And I was joking, like, Libby, Paul Hetherington's here. kids, that's Paul Hetherington. Paul Hetherington.
Yeah.
Guys, and they're like, yes, Dad, we know. And I'm joking.
Yeah.
And then I met the guy, and he's super nice. And now I feel like a jerk.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know who he is. But, I mean,
But his deal is he puts Lego sets together?
And he built amazing Lego sets, right?
Okay.
Just incredible. And people were paying like $10 to get their picture taken with him.
Was it as good as this? That's a pretty good one right there. I mean, it's no Paul Hetherington, but it's a pretty good.
There was another guy there who Jacob and I started talking to him about the TV show Lego Masters, and boy, did he scoff at Lego Masters. Yeah, I can't imagine going on a show where I build something, then I break it with a bat. I'm like, that happened one time. Yeah, that happens more than that. And I wanted to turn into Michael. No, it happened one time. It happened on the 4th episode of season 2. I really wanted to, but I didn't. I digressed. You know, and you could buy like they had all these a wall of Lego characters. Okay. And there was a line.
Like little dudes. Yeah. Little Lego dudes.
There's a line like 20 deep, 4 across of people looking to buy Lego characters that they couldn't find or lost from previous sets and stuff.
Yeah.
But these people were like, and just because I'm unfamiliar with the world of famous Lego builders doesn't mean that these guys weren't cool, weren't famous.
Who's really familiar with them?
I don't know.
Couldn't you?
My mind was blown that someone was paying $10 to meet Paul Hetherington.
Well,
after I met him, I'm like, he was a super nice guy, and that made me think maybe you and I should start going out and having meet and greets and pay $20 to have their picture taken with Mike and Darren.
The Lego Builders one. Just tell them we're a Lego builder. Darren Cox and Mike O. We built the Atlantean skyscraper.
Like a brick wall.
We'll just get a picture.
That's what I built.
I know there's people out there that post pictures of their Lego creations on Instagram. We'll just steal a few of those.
Yeah.
Submit them. Say, yeah, we invented this. $10 for a signature.
Yeah.
$50 for a photo.
Yeah.
No flash.
No flash.
Or I've thought about Comic-Con. I mean, you could tell people that you're.
I was a stormtrooper. I was in The Empire Strikes Back. I wasn't in Return of the Jedi. I mean, I shot some scenes, but those got cut.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still got paid.
He's stormtrooper, and I was the third guy that got killed in the first John Wick.
Right.
I was the guy that went through the window.
Yeah.
Twice.
And my son Cameron, he was a Jawa.
Yeah. And this is Booba. She played an Ewok.
Prove it. But by the way, Booba was in episode last week. She was in the closer. Booba! Stop it!
Yeah, I'm going to get a call from the ASPCA.
Yeah.
We heard you yelling at Booba. Yeah.
On the best of, on our episode 104, our best of year 2, you and I were talking about Pop-Tarts. Okay, how to eat Pop-Tarts. Yeah. And I was talking about how Pop-Tarts are destroying my life.
Yeah.
Because whenever we buy them, there's a fight over who gets them, and one kid, Jacob, would eat more than the other kid, Cameron.
Yeah.
And so I had to put a stop to that. Well, now the problem has escalated to Eggo waffles. Okay. So if I buy Eggo waffles, one kid, Jacob, will eat more than everybody else in the family.
Okay.
And I'm like, I keep telling the kid who will remain nameless, Jacob, that he can't eat all the waffles. Jacob,
Right.
you can't do that. Jacob, stop it. Right?
Yeah.
So I sat him down and I said, look, okay, and here's another thing. It's like, I can eat the Eggo blueberry waffles. Those come 8 to a box.
Yeah.
There's 4 of us in the house.
Yeah.
That means each of us get 2 waffles.
Yeah.
Okay, Jacob doesn't get 4, and then me and Libby and Cameron get 1, and then there's 1 left that Jacob will probably eat. That doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Everybody gets 2. Well, Libby has started liking, craving, and justifiably so, the thick and fluffy waffles.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
those
intrigued.
come 6 to a box.
Oh.
You can get
Well, it's because they're
thicker
and fluffier.
Yeah. So the thick and fluffy ones come 6 to a box. There's 4 of us. That means that you got 2 left over, which means that there's always a fight over the other 2. So when I buy them, I buy 2 boxes. Okay.
Yeah.
6 and 6 is 12. There's 4 people.
Okay.
That means how many waffles per person?
3.
3. Thank
Yeah.
you. I had to sit down a child.
In a
Jacob,
civilized
and-
society.
I said, Jacob, you cannot have more than 3 waffles.
Yeah.
Okay. You get 3, mom gets 3. I get 3, Cameron gets 3. And I have called this the Equal Waffle Act of 2022.
Okay. We need that here.
Here it be known,
Yeah, here-
this day of our Lord.
Yeah. So in our family, Charlie will eat the waffles. He will put them on a plate. He will get silverware. He'll get syrup, and he'll eat it like a normal human being.
Did you just say syrup?
Yeah.
Syrup.
Syrup.
Yeah.
Syrup.
Okay.
Maple.
It was like 2 weeks ago you said that people should call it syrup.
syrup.
Okay. Syrup.
Maple liquid. Andrew and I eat waffles like a Neanderthal, wherein we pull them out of the package. We may or may not put them in the toaster. And as soon as they come out of the toaster, we practically catch them as they come out and shove them in our mouth.
You get midair.
Yeah.
Does your toaster have that force that they pop?
No, I wish if it did, I would never leave the house.
Yeah, they pop up. You try to get the plate underneath it before. Yeah. I'm going to get this Pop-Tart out before without touching.
But the problem with that is when you have a family like that, where one person has
Jacob.
elegance and class. And takes time to prepare their meal properly. And then you have another couple people who are degenerates, who will just eat, who sometimes don't even put it in the toaster. Just pull it out of the freezer, have a waffle sickle.
A waffle sickle.
Those crazed can go through waffles a lot faster than the elegant person.
Yeah.
Therein, thereby.
Heretofore. Yeah, penultimately. Opaque.
The elegant person, the person with proper table manners, gets less food.
Yeah.
And more tears because the food is eaten by these psychopathic over here.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is, they say that you're always teaching your children. Whether, because idiots like you and I, we believe that we're teaching our children when we sit down and see, okay, here's 2 waffles, here's another 2 waffles, that's 4 waffles. No, you're teaching your child when they watch you go to get a waffle and you just eat it straight out of the package, or you yell and throw the empty waffle box across the room because everybody ate the damn waffles.
Right.
In a boat on a lake.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Repeat your last line. I'm sorry.
My point is,
Okay.
is that you're teaching your children at all times, just by the way you're eating your waffles.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was my point.
Yeah.
But my real point is,
Well, my point was math. Okay.
Yeah.
Math applies.
I'm going to leave this in because I think that was hilarious.
Well, it leads up to my next story.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the show, I teased
You
that
you had a story about doing a podcast with someone and then getting so bored you start watching videos on your phone. That was your story. You remember that time?
not what I was doing.
You remember that time Paul started watching TV while Dave was just talking?
Yeah. David, I tell you what.
Hi, I'm Dave Lay. Here are a few 5-letter words to try if you're playing Wordle. Bacon, first, quick, cramp, and night. Keep in mind, there's no guarantee these words will actually work. They're just a few suggestions. Please play responsibly. Now, back to the show.
I went viral. Something I did on the internet went huge viral. Okay. So I'm on Twitter at Darren Loves Bacon. Okay. Years ago, I wrote a tweet that said, if you single people want to know what it's like to be married, imagine having a fight in 2004 and talking about it once a week until you die.
Yeah.
Okay, that got over 1,000 likes.
Yeah.
Got a couple hundred retweets, and I think it had 7, 8, 9 something, what's called tweets of the day. Okay, people used to pay for this service called on Favstar or Favestar, and they would say, that's the funniest tweet I've seen today, and they would give you that.
Okay.
You would pay to tell somebody that's the funniest thing you've seen. So that...
Okay.
Until now, was my most popular anything that I've done on the internet. Now,
Yes.
there is
Yes.
a thing called, you go to Facebook and there's Facebook Reels
Oh.
where people will post a little video. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Facebook Reel. And then Instagram has Reels, and it's kind of like their version of the TikTok.
Yeah, they film like their dog taking it.
Exactly.
With a boing sound or something.
So there's this dude, and it's that's why I was checking, because I couldn't remember the name. It's this dude and his wife. It's Lynette and Kurt. Okay, Lynette and Kurt, and the comment, the question he has is: there's a woman on a boat on a lake wearing a coat. The name of the woman is in the riddle that I wrote. What is her name? Okay,
Who gives?
who gives exactly?
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah, that's the answer.
And like 182,000 people have commented on this or whatever. I wrote a joke. It's not even a joke. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I said the dog's name was Indiana. That has nothing to do with the woman on a boat on a lake wearing a coat. The dog's name was Indiana.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, 4.2 thousand likes or smiley faces.
Yeah.
Right? And this makes me mad because I write jokes almost every day, okay, on Facebook, and then I wrote jokes on the Twitter, and I'm lucky if I can get 5 people who like anything. I used to be more popular on Twitter.
That one has it all, though. It's a callback.
The dog's name was Indiana.
Basically, you're saying, I don't give a what you're talking about.
Right.
Because nobody does.
Right.
Everybody hates those things.
Right.
So you're just saying, it's like a veiled you, and then it's a callback to one of the most famous and beloved characters of all time.
Right.
And it's a scene where he's getting kind of put in his place.
Exactly.
You know, the dog's name was Indiana. It has everything. It's a 360 you.
Yeah. But 4,200 some likes.
Yeah. You've told me this story before. Every time you tell, I laugh. I just laugh at that's an awesome line.
It makes absolutely no sense.
That's what makes it wonderful.
I do stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Okay? I can't just walk up on stage and say, the dog's name was Indiana.
Well,
that's not going to get a laugh.
No.
The last time I did stand-up, I got crickets, and the tumbleweed went through the floor.
By the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we were on our trip, we drove 1,200 odd miles.
12,000 miles.
We at one point saw a tumbleweed go across the highway.
Sweet.
And you would have thought me and Bess had just seen a black hole, Santa Claus, and Jesus at the same time. We freaked out. We're like, oh my God, a tumbleweed.
Yeah.
We almost wrecked trying to get a picture of it. I don't think we got a picture of it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it on any of the reels, but it was amazing. It was just like it went by Yosemite Sam. It was exactly, I mean, they researched that cartoon down to the physics of tumbleweeds going.
When Libby and I went to Arizona many, many years ago, and we wanted to stop and get a picture of a cactus. Okay, and there's only like 100 million cacti through the deserts there of Arizona. Yeah. And we're driving, and I said, stop the car.
Did you see the official
I did. I saw the cactus that looked like it's surrendering, right? Like, I give up. I give up.
yeah.
Hands in the
Yeah.
air. Give me all your money.
Yeah.
I saw the cactus that was giving up.
Yeah.
And we got out of the car, we pulled off the side of the road, and we walked over to it, and we each got our picture taken with the cactus.
That's awesome.
And that was our goal.
Yeah.
Now it would have been cool had we seen a tumbleweed,
Yeah.
but we didn't.
Because people who've not been out there just have these views that all the cacti out there look like that.
No.
Most of the cacti look like a misshapen penis.
Yes.
Or they do. It's like, what the hell happened to that thing?
It's got 12 other growing on the side of it. What the hell?
It's the same thing when we were looking for the Joshua tree. In
Uh-huh.
my mind, as a 40-something-year-old man, I thought all the Joshua trees look like the Joshua tree. They don't. There's some janked up looking.
Yeah.
It's like thinking all people look the same.
Yeah.
It's like, they don't.
No, they don't.
No.
You and I look kind of,
Yeah.
but not.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dave Lay, the announcer for Irritable Dad Syndrome. Do you have a business or product you'd like to advertise? Well, this is the perfect place to do it. Send a message to our Facebook page and one of our marketing geniuses will take care of everything. If it works for Whoppers all-beef footlong hot dogs, it'll work for you too. So what are you waiting for? Get your ad on Irritable Dad Syndrome now. Back to you in the studio.
I wanted to talk to somebody who's dead. And I've got something to say.
Okay.
Rube Goldberg,
Okay.
go screw yourself.
That's the guy that made the little machines that do
I
things.
hate Rube Goldberg with a passion.
One of your kids has a project.
Yes. One of my kids has a project.
Mhm.
He has to do a Rube Goldberg
It
machine.
has so many steps.
It has to have 10 steps.
to
You
wipe
gotta-
a cat's ass at the end
Exactly.
or something.
Something has to roll down a thing and knock into something, which knocks over the pebbles that roll
Mm-hmm.
up the thing and then goes down the hoop that twirls.
Yeah.
And, years ago, we did this. And by we, it was mostly Jacob. Honestly, it was mostly Jacob who
Yeah.
did this Rube Goldberg machine. He, the goal was, it was to, at the end, it would turn on the ceiling fan.
Okay.
So he had the books that knocked into each other, that knocked over something else that rolled.
Yeah.
And then it eventually pulled on a rope that turned the switch onto his ceiling fan, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool. And I videotaped it and we sent it to his science teacher.
Mhm.
And his science teacher still plays that video. Here it was like 7 years later, 8 years later.
Yeah.
He still shows that video to his class. He's like, this is and so pretty cool. And this time we're just, how do you help a kid? Because, Cameron was asking me for help with this.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
And again, I tell my kids, look, I can help you with your homework or you can pass the class. Okay. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And I feel horrible because I have absolutely nothing where it comes to this freaking Rube Goldberg machine.
Let me relate to you
Okay,
a little
yeah,
bit. So
yeah.
there's tons of videos on the internet of weirdos putting these machines together, and at the end it'll like set a rocket off or kill a
Right.
guy or something.
Right.
And
Kill a
I've
guy.
watched these things, and I've always thought the same thing. Man, it would be great to have that much time to be able to. If I had that time and that.
Yeah.
If I had an opportunity to do that, that would be so awesome. I'd be like a woodcutter
Mm-hmm.
making the perfect gears
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And then Andrew had an assignment where we had to do that. And it was like, oh my God, I don't know how we're going to do this. And it was, of course, it's due on Monday and we find out about it on Saturday
Right.
night.
Yeah.
And so
Dad, I've
the-
got to do a project.
the fun part about our thing was,
Mhm.
is it was less, I think the intention of the project is you learn a lot about physics and different things in the process of doing that and how to plan a project. That's the intended lesson.
Right.
The lesson that we got is in lower your expectations.
Yes.
So
we're gonna have 4
Yeah.
popsicle
Well,
sticks,
yeah.
1 marble, and a spool of thread. Good luck.
because one of the objectives was identify something that your machine will do and then build a machine to do it.
Right.
So, of course, we're like, start the car or something crazy, turn on the PlayStation, and we start building. And it's as we're building,
Use Pee Wee's Big
Yeah.
Adventure as an example.
Yeah, as we're moving, it's the expectations get less and less. Okay, we'll just turn on this light. Okay, we'll make this book fall near Boobah and scare her. That will be the machine. That'll be what they put her over there. Okay, well, just the second thing falls, and that's our goal is to push over a popsicle stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember what the final goal was. I think it was a car jumps off a
Yeah.
thing and lands in the sink.
Yeah.
It was.
I think
There were tears. I think there was cussing.
I'm seriously
Yeah.
is it really a homework project unless everyone's crying?
Yeah.
I mean, at least half the kids or everybody should be crying.
Yeah.
But what I think we should do, and this would stand out, this would absolutely stand out amongst all the other machines, a human Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
Where a ball drops into, say, my hand, and then it moves over.
Oh, yeah.
And then it opens up and it falls down into two hands that are below me.
Oh,
Let's say those hands belong to Jacob.
Yeah.
And then Jacob walks 10 steps, turns, and then rolls it across the floor into Libby's hands. Then she takes it, throws it through the hoop.
Yeah.
We're done.
You just basically
Done.
reenacted like most of the people's lives in this country.
Just like,
all I do is take the papers from this desk over and pivot to this desk.
yeah. I mean, really,
Yeah.
these teachers, God love them. And I'm a fan of teachers. I'm a big fan of teachers. But, a lot of times, because when I was a kid, you do a book report. Okay.
Yeah.
And you would write down
What you
happened,
learned from the movie.
What happened. Exactly.
And hope to God they didn't, that
exactly.
it's the same.
I would read like the first chapter, the last chapter, and then hope that I understood something because I hated reading. I still hate reading. But you'd write a book report. Okay, so Jacob had a project not that long ago when he was in elementary school. His book report, you read the book, and then from ideas you got from that book, you make a box of cereal.
Yeah.
Where do you get a book and then you turn it into a box of cereal? So you had to make the label for the front.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on the one side where the ingredients go, that's where you put like the thesaurus, not the thesaurus, the contents.
References.
Yeah, whatever.
The table
and then
of contents.
on the back had to be like a puzzle. So what we did was do like a search a word or something. And, we went on the night. And granted, Jacob did most of it. We helped out a lot. But we let Jacob have his ideas of what he wanted to do. And he's a kid, okay? And, and it got tough. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and start panicking a little bit. And we're like, buddy, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We will totally figure it out. And we did it. And God, if we didn't go to the school and there's some dad who had printed all his with a laser printer, and it was like a wax copy, and it was shiny.
Yeah, there's always that one
in 3D.
Yeah,
and I remember Libby and I were looking at that.
Scratch and sniff on the side.
Exactly. And the teacher's like, I'm gonna have to talk to this particular student, but there's one time where
Dad's trying to get off the couch is what's happening there.
Look what I did for our son, honey. Can I come back in the exactly? Can I come back into the bedroom, please? I'll never do it again. I promise. No. One time, Jacob had to do his project was what if one of the early presidents had social media? Oh, so he had to do a Facebook page for Andrew Jackson.
Oh.
And Jacob's like, I don't know anything about Facebook. Jackson would have been and that's where I stepped in and like, buddy, Daddy knows a little bit about Facebook. I'm only on it all day long. So, but we had to, and that was one of those things where we found out Sunday that it was due Monday. So our Sunday was helping Jacob do an Andrew Jackson Facebook page. But
so, okay. So when I was a kid, I learned a very valuable lesson doing one of these things. I had to do a report and a presentation on a book. And the book I had was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. All right.
Yeah.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
I actually read it. Okay. And then I did the project.
I saw the movie.
So, well, I'm leading up to that. Yeah. I did the project based off of the movie because the movie had all these images, and I was just like kind of copying off what it was right there. It was like a cartoon thing. And I got a decent grade on it. And I realized when I got it back, I didn't have to read that book.
Yeah.
Everything on this board came from the movie. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I put that theory to the test. In high school, I had to do a report on Moby Dick.
Uh-huh.
I've never read Moby Dick. I thought, idiot. I wasn't the smartest guy in high school.
Sperm whales have teeth the size of a banana.
Jeez. So I got really good grades in high school, but I was kind of an idiot on top of that. Like I was a smart idiot, if that makes sense. I'll give you an example of what that is.
Okay.
Here's what a smart idiot is. Somebody who you get to pick whatever book you're going to do the report on. I'll do Moby Dick because whales are cool. And then you get the book and it's like 5,000 pages of some crotchety old bastard on a boat pissed at a whale.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I did was go to the library and found another book that talks about Moby Dick and copied down a bunch of stuff, changed some words around.
What's it
Boom.
called? The
Not Cliff's Notes.
The Cliff
but
Notes, yeah.
Something similar to that.
yeah.
Let's fast forward into college. I think we're past the statute of limitations on this.
Yeah.
I may have told this story before.
Okay.
And everybody, I have a master's, so it's beyond the degree that I got for this. So
Right.
Come at me,
I still
bro.
can't believe you have a master's degree.
Come at me, bro. So I went to a college in Ohio that was very. This is one of the things I love about it, and probably all colleges do this, but I'm just going to pretend like mine's the only one that does it. You have to be very well rounded, so you have to take different. You have like tier classes: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, depending on what year you're in, and they have to be something like way outside of what you're doing. So I'm in engineering. Or I was in engineering. I picked as my tier 3 Russian literature.
Okay.
It seemed like the right thing to do at the time.
Okay.
And everybody in that class, and I can remember the class layout as we're sitting here. I remember what the room looked like. We were in a U, and the teacher was walking around in between us.
It's called a semicircle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I call it a U. And there was maybe 2 people in there that were actually in Russian literature as a major.
Okay.
Which I'm like, what are you going to do? Work at a Piggly Wiggly?
Right.
You ain't doing anything with that degree. They're probably on CNN right now talking about Russian literature while I'm sitting here talking to you about
Paul Hetherington.
Paul Hetherington and penises. There's a title for you. Anyway, we had everybody other than those 2 people was exactly like me. There were physics majors. There were a couple of engineering majors. There were a couple of biology majors. They were just in there because it was a tier 3 and it looked like the easiest of the tier 3s that we could take.
Why would Russian literature look easy?
I don't remember.
It's all in Russian.
I don't remember what the course.
Can't
no,
understand.
I mean it's translated.
Oh.
So there was.
All they're talking about is vodka.
So this is our senior year. This is our last year. For those of you who don't know what a senior year is. And
that's your penultimate
we
year.
saw that there was a project that was a report on a book, one of the books, and you had a list of books that you could choose from, and it was worth 20% of your grade.
Okay.
We all figured out that if you after we had like 2 tests, the grading was pretty lenient on the test.
Yeah.
We figured we could, as long as we just pay attention and study the notes the night before the test, we'll get 80% in the class. Who cares about that 20%? Ain't nobody got time for this book report because, by the way, we're all seniors. We've all got major projects.
Right.
So nobody did the report.
Okay.
Nobody, except for those 2. And we get into the day of the final, Darren.
Yeah.
The building that I was taking this Russian literature final in was across the street from the computer lab. Now, kids, this is back in the 90s. Not everybody had a computer and a printer in their room.
You had to actually wait.
You had to wait in line. You had to like give them
computer.
someone your school ID.
Yeah.
They would call a number. You would get a computer for a period of time.
Yeah.
You could print. Everybody would go over to the one
You could use it unlimited
printer.
time if nobody needed it.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is
that's
how
where
it was.
I wrote all my reports.
That's how it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So as the professor is passing out the final, it's a 2-hour final.
Okay.
He says, before he starts passing it out, he's like, I want to thank you all. It's been a great quarter, blah, blah, blah. By the way, your report is due at the end of this final period. And I'd like to inform everyone here that if you do not turn in a report, you fail the class. And we all looked at each other because we had all agreed we ain't doing the report. So he passes around the final. We're all like, oh, So I rushed through the final as fast as I can rush. I don't even remember I think there were some essay questions. I was just writing whatever.
Right.
I had the book because he handed out the books that you were going to do the report on. It was about that thick.
Okay.
Written by some Russian guy.
For people listening, it's like 10 inches.
Oh, yeah. And me and half the class ran over to the computer science lab about the same time. I got in front of a computer. I had never even opened this book.
Oh, my God.
And
you were giving me a panic attack.
I had 30 minutes. And I remember this, it had to be 10 pages long minimum. I had 30 minutes. And I literally just opened to a page and start typing. I'm just like, all the bullshit that is in me about. I was reviewing like a Star Wars thing and then inserting names from the. I'm serious. I was just like, and then he was on Moskowine and he met a small green guy called Jeheski, and just tearing through it and went as far as I could go. And there's only like,
and you close with like, and the moral of the story is I hope the Russians love their children too.
And there's only like 10 minutes left before he's going to leave the class. And this is in another building. I have to cross a street. I have to leave. I have to get, and I have nothing left in me. And I start manipulating the font size and the margins until I get it to exactly 10 pages. I hit print. I run, I grab it. I couldn't staple it because I didn't think about that.
Right.
I run back over to the professor's room. And I realize that I don't have anything stapled together as I'm going, and I'm out of breath. And so is the other like 10 or 15 people that did the exact same thing that I did. And I'm like, I didn't staple it. I don't have a stapler. And he just kind of smiled at me. He's like, you don't need one. And he put it down. He didn't even read it. He just wrote A and circled it. And he said, what's your name? I was like, I told him my name. He went down the thing. He's like, you passed. And I was like, that was the most awesome lesson you ever taught anyone, is that you can just completely blow off an assignment and not do anything and then just mail it in at the last second. I thought that was it. I was like, because if you fail your tier 3, it doesn't matter. My major has nothing to do with Russian literature. But if you fail your tier 3, you can't graduate. That's why all of us looked at each other like, holy shit.
I had a professor who was handing out all the things, and he says, be sure to read every question before you answer, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And he hands it down or that.
At the end, it says something like, pull your out or whatever.
No. At the end, it said, you don't have to take this final exam. And he stood there just leaning up against the wall, watching us. Everybody was just feverishly writing. And he had questions. One of the questions on the final exam was, who is Alex Ogborn? Okay. Alex Ogborn is a singer-songwriter who used to perform in bars and clubs all the time in Johnson City, Tennessee. And he was dating a girl who was in the school. And he, actually, I wasn't a friend of his, but my best friend was a friend of his girlfriend. And we partied with them one night.
Okay.
So I knew him personally. And, but she like talked about him all throughout class.
Yeah.
And that was one of the questions. And people started looking up like, why are we talking about Alex Ogborn?
Yeah.
You know, and you go through the whole thing, and then you get to the last question, last page is, you don't have to take this. And people were getting so pissed. But, and then another thing, and when I was in high school, in my high school English class, I would never read the assignments. And I don't want my kids to hear this because I want them to be better students than I was.
Yeah.
But there's me.
Kids, don't listen to this podcast.
There was me. There was a girl named Dana. And there was a guy named Haynes. Okay. And the three of us would sit there, and our teacher would start going into the book. Okay. The lesson. And Dana would say, well, that's a lot like, you know, what's going on right now in the Ukraine, or that was like a lot like what happened on Wall Street. And I said, yeah, I mean, you know, when they were, you know, everybody was marching. Yeah. And then Haynes would jump in, and we'd all start talking about something that happened last week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we would like we were inspired by something that happened in the book.
Yeah.
And we would talk, and the rest of the class knew exactly what we were doing. We were killing time.
Yeah.
And our English teacher just loved the fact that we were so like these kids today are able to take literature.
Yeah.
And then it's inspiring them to, you know, correlate it with things that happened today.
Yeah.
We just didn't do the stuff.
So, okay,
God, I was a horrible student.
We are running long.
That's fine.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But I do have one more story that's the same thing. My friend Tay, he was the best man at my wedding.
Yeah.
We both went to OU, And his tier 3 course was something to do with art. And you know what? Now that I say this, I don't think it was tier 3. I think it was just a general class that he took.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the first day, the professor said, you need to bring a broom to class every day.
Okay.
It's either a broom or a mop. We'll just say broom.
Okay.
So every day, people are bringing this broom to class. He never mentioned it after the first day, all the way up into the final.
Uh-huh.
And the day of the final, Tay went to go take the final with his broom, and we were laughing at him because he looked funny.
He really brought a broom.
Yeah, a broom.
Oh, okay, a broom. Okay.
And this was finals week. I think it was our junior year. I think, it had to have been our junior year because we were all living in a house in Mill Street, me and Box and Tay and another one of Box's friends. And Tay left for his final. We're drinking. It's finals week. We're all done with theirs. And,
Sure.
And Tay's going. And he came back like 20 minutes later with his broom. And we're like, what the hell was it? And we're like, dude, did you have the wrong day for your final? And he's like, no. We walked in. Everyone sat down. They all had their brooms. He walked in and he said, does everyone have their broom?
Mm-hmm.
And we all said yes. And he's like, you all pass. Have a nice summer. And that was it. All you had to do to pass the final was bring your broom. And
He told them every day to bring a broom?
every day they had to bring, the syllabus said you're required to bring a broom every day to class. And as long as they brought it to the final, they passed the final.
That's awesome.
So I want to tie these two stories together.
Okay.
There had to have been somebody in that class that studied their ass off for that final.
Oh, yeah.
And was so pissed when all these chuckleheads came in with their brooms and just passed. The same thing with my Russian literature class. Those two people that were taking it seriously had to be so pissed that they spent all this time on it. And they knew that the majority of us ran over to that room and just literally handed in bullshit that the guy didn't even look at. Literally did not even lift the cover page. I could have given him 10 sheets of blank paper.
Mary
with the
had a
cover
little
page.
lamb.
Yeah. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
I would love to read that. I'd love to read
I don't have it anywhere. I've found some old college papers, but that one's gone.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, this one's gone. This has been a good one.
Were you going to talk about venomous beaver?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, real briefly.
Okay.
Real briefly.
Yeah, if that's even possible.
You guys may notice that there's been some pictures of a beaver on our site.
A venomous beaver.
A venomous beaver.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you guys in on what I'm doing, what we're doing, but basically what I'm doing because I'm going to be going to this concert. We've designed a Venomous Beaver tour t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the site right now is
badass.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
It's an AI generated image.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, wow, that actually looks pretty cool. It looks like a concert t-shirt. I mean, I'm going to do some editing to it, but I think it can pass as a concert t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this month, I'm going to see The Hue and Megadeth. And in theory, Five Finger Death Punch, but I think I'm going to leave right after Megadeth. I'm going to meet.
You're not going to stay for Five Dinger Fit Death Punch?
I don't know anything. I don't know.
Dude.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you kidding? Check them out.
All right. I'll listen to a few songs.
I will. I mean, not like I have a lot of respect for you now, but if you leave and skip out on Five Finger Death Punch, you're
lose.
Crazy.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll stay and see them.
Okay.
But here's the deal: is that my ticket gets me in to meet The Hue or The Who, whatever they're called.
I'm pretty sure it's not The Who.
It's The Hue.
It's the Guess Hue.
And I get to get a picture with them.
Okay.
Hang out with them in the VIP area.
Get
I'm going to wear my Venomous Beaver t-shirt. Because I'm going to be in a picture with them, so they're going to want to see what the shirt is that I have that's going to be in the picture. And here's what I'm doing, and it's going to start there.
Mm-hmm.
I am developing lore and history around Venomous Beaver.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about them like they're a real band.
Yeah.
We took pictures. Me and Bess took pictures at Glop. There was a stage with a guitar, and I got pictures of me. I'm tuning the guitar for Venomous Beaver. They're about to take the stage.
Yeah.
All these cool.
Yeah,
things.
they got their start like in '86 or '87.
Yeah,
right?
this is their reunion tour.
Nice.
There was a lot of drugs with Venomous Beaver band,
now
and now they're coming. This is their comeback tour.
Is the bass player with them? Because he always said he was not going to play with Mark again.
He is. They are on their 6th drummer.
Okay.
So
They're like Spinal Tap.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
Pearl
yeah,
Jam.
I'm going to push this Venomous Beaver because I guarantee you somebody's going to ask me about this shirt, and my hopes are
I'm going
that
to
it's
push
somebody
this
from the
Venomous Beaver.
Hue.
Okay.
I want so bad to get into a conversation with someone from the Hue about my Venomous Beaver t-shirt.
Yeah.
And a side goal
Uh-huh.
is to impress them so much with my Venomous Beaver that they offer to let me meet Megadeth, because I would really like to meet Dave Mustaine.
Dave Mustaine.
And if I actually meet Dave Mustaine,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to bring, dude, I made this. It's funny.
Did you ever see when Megadeth were on Letterman?
No.
Dave was going crazy because Megadeth was coming on, and every time he would say Megadeth, dun, 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 and the Megadeth logo would come on. Paul and the band would go ape, dun, 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 you know, and he goes, I guess that makes me Mega Dave. Dun, 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 and then Mega Dave would come up on the screen. Endlessly entertaining.
Yeah.
And then Megadeth came out, and I think they scared him, which all the bands scared. Weezer. He says, "What, Weezer? I think they scare me, Paul. I hope they're not neglecting their studies."
Yeah. But my goal is to make as many people believe that Venomous Beaver is a real band as I can.
Good for you. All right, guys, this has been episode 106. We want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com, listen to previous episodes. Definitely go back. If you haven't heard the best of Year 2, that's episode 104. Download that son of a bitch. You're going to love that one. Go back even further to episode 52. That was the best of Year 1. If you haven't heard that, you're going to want to listen to that.
If you want to support us, check us out on Patreon.
Yeah.
We're actually putting up all of our episodes ad-free.
Yes.
So we've started to add ads, put advertisements into our show.
Yeah.
If you want them ad-free, they're on Patreon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other cool behind-the-scenes stuff there, too.
Seriously, and really, if you could donate $1 a month, that would help us, and you could listen to the episodes ad-free.
Yeah.
So, I mean, any help that you guys can give us, it helps us keep this podcast on the air, because we love doing it, and we're going to keep doing it until one of us is in the ground. So, Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you again on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Get f***ed.
What?
I'm going to edit it
That's
out.
not nice. That's not nice at all.
No, that's not how this works.
No.
That's not how any of this works.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
No.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist and directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end, it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
So it's time for the story. So, but they bring out the equivalent of like a warm-up act.
Say equivalent. You stroked out.
They
You did everything but go with your forehead on the table. Your eye fluttered. I think one of your testicles moved.
actually it did.